Welcome one and all to the grand final of ECL Season 49 in South America. We've got Rooster from Oceania, we've got Lin Vision from Asia Pacific, and we're about to find out EU, of course, on the main broadcast right now, and South America right here, right now. It's Fluxo versus Solid. It's the grand final. Two teams that are in the top three of the league standing in the regular season. Fluxo, though, are on great form in these playoffs. My name is Trav. Alongside me is Matt. He's called Hayes. He's just had 500 milligrams of caffeine. He's ready to go.
Well, not quite yet. We're busy ingesting, Trav. It's a slow journey. We can't just straight up inject 500 milligrams of caffeine straight into our veins, mate. That would be quite something. Listen, this is a best of 5. I've got to pace myself. Fluxo do have that map advantage. It's not like you're late, guys. It's not like Fluxo have already won the first map. No, they got the reward of coming through the upper bracket and getting that one map advantage now here, which gives them a huge edge, right, Trav? I mean, these two teams did play against each other in the upper bracket as well. Fluxo beat them 2-0 pretty convincingly as well. There was a close map in the mix, that second map, or it was the first map, right? It was Nuke 1310. Yeah. That was a closely contested affair. Fluxo cleaned them up on the second, though.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting, right? Is that when Fluxo needed to deliver, they kind of did, right? Because they won that BO3 in the playoffs, but in the regular season, in the back-to-back BO1 format, on 2 separate days, of course, they actually lost both those 2 BO1s on Dust 2 and Anubis. So I'll have to see how the veto works out this time around when we get there. But here's how the bracket has panned out. Probably not really any huge surprises here. I will say the fact that Solid did beat Sharks was very impressive. That was a close 2-1, I believe. And I think, honestly, that final map, mate, that Tomate clutch on B side of Ancient, that was the one that really seemed to break the back of Sharks, and seems like they didn't really recover from then. Solid have kind of maybe got a surprise final berth. Maybe some people would look and say, oh, where's the name value of Red Canids? Why aren't they close? Where's Sharks? Probably should have won that game. But no, Solid proving why they were so good over the course of the regular season.
Yeah, absolutely. They fully deserve the spot here in the grand final. They did so well throughout the group stage, topping off the group, and then that kind of gave them the berth deeper in towards the playoffs, right? They started in the second round of the upper bracket. They won their first game against Swingers. Then they came up against Fluxo. Like I already said, lost that game there, dropped to the low bracket, got across the line against Sharks. And, that was the only game that they played in the lower bracket, right? Was that Sharks matchup. So, yes. Yeah, they've looked good. They've looked really good, especially like relatively speaking. You've got to regard the fact that they've gotten to the final in itself as a success for Solid, but that's not what they're focused on right now. They want that spot at ESL Pro League. Can you imagine what a massive accomplishment that would be for the Solid roster? DRG got dropped by Sharks. He's come to this new team. He's got talent around him, but like it's tier 2 regional talent. They don't have any crazy name value on the server for Solid. So if they could go all the way and qualify for Pro League, I mean, that would probably be like the biggest accomplishment of any of these 5 players' careers so far.
No, I think you're right. I wouldn't even disagree at all. I think that's why it's so important for these guys. I mean, Fluxo have got the major, of course. They qualified for the major through the MRQ. They want Pro League as well, but that would be greedy. But I'll give Solid a chance. I jest, of course. I mean, listen, I do think Fluxo are the strong favourites here, and it's not just because of the BO5 map 1 advantage that they get for free, of course, from coming from the upper bracket. And there's just so many things about this Fluxo team that are very exciting to watch right now. I think Melzin has got something about him. I think Kai is playing as good as he's ever played in his young career so far. I think Art clearly still has something to give to the Brazilian scene, and now he's sort of moved on from his Furia era and trying to build up this roster. Zevi is incredibly exciting on the AWP still after so many years, even though he's still still so many years, but still super young, of course, Zevi. And Perio is one of these new talents, of course, coming through. He's 22. It's not like he's a teenager, but he's been around the block. He's got the experience now to go with the talent, and he wants to show what he's truly made of at these big events.
Yeah. It feels like Fluxo are ready to kind of step up to that next level, Trav, and kind of emerge out of their region and kind of take things across to Europe and compete there a bit more regularly as well. But they have to first like beat the boss of their region and then kind of prove that they're worthy. Anyway, we've got the veto. Now, Inferno that's just the map that Solid are going to ban. Fluxo take out Anubis. So we will not be seeing either of those maps featuring here in this best of 5 grand final. It's going to be Mirage up first into Ancient, Dust 2, Nuke, Trains. So Trav, I mean, the order of the maps is normally what's more important in a best of 5. For me, the maps that I've liked Fluxo on the most have been probably Ancient, Dust 2, and Nuke.
Yeah.
So they'll have all 3 of those maps in a row. But first, it's Mirage to open up, which I think Solid... I'm not saying they have to win it, but with Ancient, Dust 2, and Nuke all 3 being in a row, like surely Fluxo will win 2 of those 3, right? So I feel like Mirage is almost a must-win affair for Solid.
Yeah, that's kind of what I agree with, right? I mean, Fluxo, it's not just the fact they've got that 1-0 advantage already, which is incidentally Train. That's the map that's been taken out as the map advantage. So that's probably, to be fair, a good thing for Solid, because that's actually one of the maps that Fluxo do enjoy playing as well, actually, recently. So I don't think I'll be too upset about that, Team Solid. But yeah, I mean, like Mirage, as you say, it's kind of a must-win. They actually have, which is unusual, right, for this sort of level, and so many games being played in Tier 2 South America. They have exactly the same record. 14 played, 71% win rate. That's obviously 10 out of the 14. So, you know, kind of unusual to have exactly the same across the board on that map. I think it's going to be, Mirage is going to be a bit of a barn burner, I think, as the first map of the series, because Solid will come in incredibly motivated, knowing they have to take it to kind of have any chance in the series, because getting a reverse sweep done with the other maps that are left in the pool, like you rightly mentioned, will seem way too much.
Yeah, that would be a massively tall order, right? So there's probably quite a lot relying on this Mirage game here for Solid. We saw them against Sharks on this map yesterday, and they certainly did impress me. I mean, it took them overtime to eventually get across the line. It was a fairly slow start from them, but once they got going, Sharks couldn't really stop them. And yeah, once they won Mirage, then they were able to clean up Ancient quite handedly. So the one kind of thing that lives in my mind from that game we saw yesterday from Solid is DRG on the CT side. I mean, he was getting so many important kills. The CT side was where he found most of his impact. They're going to start off on the T side, though, are Solid. Fluxo, CT start for them, 1-0 edge coming into this grand final. We're live, Trav. 2 teams alive. 1 spot at Pro League. A couple maps in between, and we'll be crowning a champion of ECL Season 49.
Exciting stuff for both these 2 teams. Both would really love that berth. Fluxo would put a little bit of a cherry on top of their season to be able to qualify for Pro League and the Major, of course. And Art's already trying to deliver to begin with. He takes down Nithon, and Pyria has stopped Destiny in toward that short position. And yeah, it's all falling apart. Art will find the last one as well. Zevi did really well to get his 1 kill on site as well. Just a reminder, of course, his name in the kill feed is slightly different. The knowers in chat will know exactly what that's a reference to. There we can see it there. But yeah, that is Fluxo starting as they mean to go on.
2025, and we still can't just like force players' names. It's kind of crazy, you know, that we still just we have to. Yeah, we still get their names from their profiles.
Their faces,
yeah, there we go. That's the one from their face profile. You know, so we get Semen Bucken, Zevi, lovely. He's been very good though, Trav. He's been really impressive.
Kiyasuke reference, yeah, of course.
Yes, yeah.
It's that's how much cultural impact.
Impact already, yeah, for sure.
Straight away,
Zevi
straight in there.
Shouldn't be having much impact here in this. He's just got the USP. Obviously, he's looking forward to the future. He wants to get that AWP in the first gun round. And it's a full eco from Solid and a little bit of a cheerleader stack in towards lowers.
So, of course, I mentioned, well, this is a full eco. I was quickly, natter on about this. Mentioned that one of the other regions, of course, EU, is being played right now. I can tell you we've got a champion on the main broadcast. It is Bait. It is Bait going to Pro League. And that, just like Fluxo, right? Bait qualifying for the Major. Pro League is a cherry on top. Fluxo, they could do the same this evening. So, yeah, huge for Bait. That puts another great plus point to their season. Paravision yet to really play at one of these big lands, right? They've been desperately looking at this for so long. They've got the players and the ability to get there, but not this time. And of course, as you mentioned to me a couple of times, Matt, over the course of the playoffs so far, the fact that these Challenger League playoffs this time around don't award a Pro League spot for both finalists. It's only the winner who makes it through. Like, previous seasons, we'd have both the finalists qualify. So a bit more cutthroat, and Paravision will have to try again in a different qualifier later down the road.
Yeah, I mean, they were in a very good spot in that game at one point. I thought that they might have robbed Bait despite the fact that they were down by a map of Bait coming through the upper bracket. Anyway, this is an important round here. First gun round of our grand final. AKs across the board here for Solid, a healthy amount of utility as well. And it's a stock standard default coming through from them. I was wondering what sort of a approach we'd get from Solid here in the start of the grand final. Would it be something out of the ordinary, throwing caution to the wind, trying to set the pace and maybe fluster Fluxo, but instead it's going to be very standard here. Nothing really on offer from Fluxo either. I'm happy to also just go for an orthodox approach. Oh, Tomate's timed out. Okay, hold on. Can we call NL? Is that possible? I mean, damage has been done technically speaking. Diogir he's tagged. Doesn't look like we aren't live though, Trav.
I wonder what's gonna. Okay, there we go. Fair enough. I think that's probably like Fluxo or like probably Solid saying to Fluxo, "Okay, look, like some damage has been done. I know this is the rule book, but can you just like, can you agree to this?" And maybe they said yes. I'm not so sure. Obviously,
I think they just typed NL. I think
yeah,
they just were
enough.
like, not live, not live, not live, not live.
Maybe.
It's not like there was any serious damage. It was like 14 damage that DRG had taken, probably to a nade. It's not like the round was at any, had really taken any serious shape either. No jewels had broken out, so...
Luckily.
It's okay. It's fair enough. Yeah. I'm glad, because we wouldn't want Fluxo to win the first gun round because Tomate timed out, right? So...
Exactly. Yeah, I just checked our little channel, the lovely admin channel. Shout out to the admins doing the tough work over the course of the evening, on the day actually, of course, with all the different regions being played. He did just say not live, player timed out. So yeah, it was confirmed pretty much immediately. It's all good. Hopefully we'll get Tomate back in the server in 1 to 2 minutes so we can get back underway again, and the gun round proper can start again. As you said, pretty sucky way if Solid did lose the opening gun round like that, but thankfully they're going to have another bite at the cherry. For that cherry on top. Go on.
Now the question is, do Solid go for the same opening in this next gun round? Do they just play out another default? Or do they go for something slightly different? Zevi has got his AWP as well. This is what he was looking forward to. It's why he just had that USP in the second round. Yeah. He's been really good throughout this playoff bracket so far. He's been having massive pop-off maps. He's been very stable. There hasn't been a map where Zevi just hasn't pitched up at all, except for the map where the first series of the playoff run where he wasn't here, but that's because he was having some issues. So that's the one time Zevi didn't pitch up, but that's literally because he wasn't even in the server.
That's true. It's funny, right? That was a game where, as you rightly mentioned, it actually, Pyria was AWPing, and Pyria was looking amazing on the AWP, actually.
Yeah, he was.
As soon as Zevi came back in the next game we covered in the evening after, he was farming. I think he was like 16 and 1 on one of those ancient maps at one point in the game, his first game back. So, yeah, fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. We are starting to gauge the teams that will eventually be at Pro League as well, right? Like it's every single region is being played out across the scene. As I said, Rooster have confirmed their spot, a team that very often makes it through to Pro League through the Oceania region. We've got Lin Vision. They made it through Asia Pacific. I was lucky enough to cover that game. That was a very entertaining match against Tyloo. A rematch grand final, of course. Lin Vision getting that spot, denying Tyloo an opportunity to play at Pro League after, of course, being involved last time around, and G kind of capturing the hearts of the scene. But as I just said, EUs have been confirmed a few minutes ago. Bait making their way through. And that's a huge win, right? I mean, I kind of mentioned it a couple of times over the course of the season so far. Very important things with Challenger League is not just a Pro League qualification, but what it does to the rest of your season as well. Because, as we all know at this point, you don't get your VRS points and your money allocated until the tournament is finished in its current rule set. So,
as it should be.
As it should be. Of course, we've seen Game Legion get hurt by that a few times before that was changed. So now we're at a point where Solid and Fluxo obviously will get a huge injection of points when the season is over. It thrusts Lin Vision up to like 31st. I'm pretty sure around that stage now. And I think Bait, I'm not sure if it's been counted yet. I'll check it right now. I think HLTV have like a prediction, right, with the Valve ranking. So the official one is from the 5th of this month. Bait were 18th. I checked 12th now. Let's see if it's been added. I don't think it's been added yet. No, they've dropped down a bit, so it hasn't been added yet. But maybe by tomorrow, with winning the entire season of Challenger League for Bait, I reckon they'll probably jump up to like 18th, or sorry, 16th or 17th, or maybe 14th, because around that point there's quite a small gap
Europe,
between
right?
points. But in Europe, yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that's just incredibly exciting for Fluxo and Solid, because they'll know when this is over, they're going to be involved in a lot more tournaments purely off of the invites.
Oh yeah, there'll be a massive injection of points coming their way. And that could certainly give them a good boost going into the next season. If they do well at the major, Trav, then imagine what season 2 of the year looks like here for both of these teams, right? Or, you know, Bait and whoever wins here would be a lot more tournaments coming their way. Either way, we are live. We're back into the action here between Solid and Fluxo in the grand final. First map of the series. Of course, if you're just joining us, Fluxo do have that map advantage from coming through the upper bracket into this final now. It is a slightly, it's a pretty similar round coming through from Solid in terms of their opening. I think they move with a little bit more pace this time around in terms of how they actually close the gap and set themselves up for this A split. Couple through Palace, couple through Con, one up ramp. Fluxo have got 2 players on the A site. Nade to break open the smoke does do chip damage. But Solid are converging on this A side here, Trav, and they're going to collapse on a moment's notice.
Art with a good opening onto a Destiny, and he'll get a second onto a JVB as well. And Tomate, a little bit cold early game, took way too long to kill Mel's in there. And it means that everything else for Fluxo will be an easy cleanup. Kai once again showcasing his first bullet accuracy. We've seen do so much great work over the course of these playoffs. Another big triple kill from him. It was 2 from Art. Kai got all the 3 remaining. And that gives Fluxo 3 rounds of their own on the board.
Yeah, very well defended from them. It's not like they really went searching. They didn't try and force it on the defense in that round either. They let the T side come to them. Art's in a good position. I don't know how he got both those kills and the players coming through connector. I mean, spacing must have just been off because he gets 1 kill, and then there's a few seconds afterwards he gets the second frag as well. Not like they both died at the same time or trying to double swing or double peek. That's something Solid have to be wary of coming into this grand final, Travis. They can't get overwhelmed by the enormity of the situation and kind of like go into the shell, be like, hey, we've got to play perfect Counter-Strike now, guys. We've got to just check all the boxes, make sure we don't give up any unnecessary kills, be very conservative and risk-averse. No, you got to take the bull by the horns, take the fight to Fluxo, flex your muscles early on, try and create some cracks, try and put pressure on your opponent, right? I think if you just try and be a little bit too precise with it coming into the final, then yeah, you probably go into a shell a little bit, right? Like I was saying, you don't want to be too conservative in this matchup.
Exactly right. I think they'll know as well that they're going to already be under quite a bit of pressure, to be fair to them, right, with this first map in the series being so important, knowing what Fluxo have left to play in the BO5. The 4 maps we will be playing at most this evening. Welcome to all the viewers, of course, who've just been raided from the main ESL broadcast. You've just hopped from EU to South America. Hope you enjoyed your trip. That's
fastest it's ever been, traveling from Europe to South America.
True. That's a joke that my dad always made, right? If I like tripped on something on the floor, like just like slight little, stub my toe or whatever, he'd just say to me every single time, "Enjoy your trip."
Yeah, mine
Dad
was,
joke.
Hope you had a nice trip, enjoy your fall.
True. That's a good one as well. And I just want to say as well, shout out to my dad. He's 74 today. So, there you go.
Oh, happy birthday, Daddy Trav. I'm grateful. Got my boy now as a result. Anyway, here we go. Big pop coming through from Solid in towards the, say, bomb site. It's going to be plenty of utility thrust in. It's going to be stairs, jungle. There's a smoke on balcony on Palace. There's just utility everywhere for Solid. How can they not get a bomb plant from this round at the bare minimum?
Elzin, not got the right lineup to deny the plant. So Fluxo playing this one a bit more calm and composed, not rushing in any players before they feel like they're ready. A double pick towards CT now, but it's a triple peek toward jungle. And Nython with the team kill helps out Art for 2 more of his own. Oh my word, that looked like it could be a lot more dangerous for Fluxo than it was. And in the end, they survived with all 5 players up.
I mean, I like the plan there, honestly. I really like the plan for Solid. You know, smoke up the entire site, guarantee a bomb plant, then just try and fight into jungle with numbers, see if you can overwhelm any CTs, catch them off guard perhaps, but the TK certainly didn't help. Art with a quick double outside of that, and Fluxo going to be feeling very good about how they've been able to open up in this grand final, because once you open up like this and you go up 4-0, it just settles the nerves, man, of everybody in the team. Everybody just gets reminded, all right, although this is a grand final, I am just on Mirage. I'm just playing a game of Counter-Strike, right? Like, all of that extra pressure is pressure that comes from the outside. That's pressure that you put on yourself because of the occasion. But Fluxo clearly not feeling it here. Not yet, at least.
Yeah, at the start, 6 on Pyria, 6 on Art, 5-0 for Kai. You rightly mentioned
3
it.
on Solid across the board.
Exactly. Haven't been very warm just yet. To mate, goodness gracious, Pyria has ruined his day. Been taken down to 9 HP and he's not even seen his opponent.
Yeah, a little bit of damage done back in the opposite direction at least. Alright, well, Solid going to be looking to work their way through middle. We saw them go for a very default-esque approach in the previous gun round. This time it's going to be a big lean into middle with 4 players. Kai is committed. He's got Art there as well. Art is just omnipresent, and he continues to frag everywhere he goes. Kai will be hard cleared, though. Art desperate to get another, and he will. Can he round the corner? Yes, he's evaded the trade for now, and Zevi has been there to help his captain out as well at range. It's a 4v2, but a lot of damage done right now, so don't count Solid out of this.
Did Art get tagged by a Solid player, or did Zevi kill a player through? No, I don't think so.
I think Art was tagged by a Solid player.
Yeah, I was going to say, because if Zevi got the kill through Art, then it would show as a wallbang, right? So, yeah. I thought for a second that was the case, considering where Zevi was, but not the case. And Melton will push forward to deny GBB from saving the AWP. He tried to nab it, then jump back to just save with Tomate in T-spawn. There is the bomb. No way out.
The bodies.
And they will litter catwalk and mid. That is not a catwalk I want to see a fashion show on.
No, not much walking going on there either. Just kind of chilling, actually. But 5-0, this has been a snoozy start for Solid. And they don't have much time to turn it around in this first half either. Of course, we have only had 2 gun rounds, but still, concerning signs. Just with the lack of fragging coming through from Solid in general. 4 kills in 5 rounds doesn't inspire much confidence. And how's Art, Trav? I mean, whether he's snipers, whether he's jungle or catwalk, he's just always where the action's going down so far.
Yeah, omnipresent is a great word that you used. My guy is everywhere.
And he's about to fight top mid.
He's about to fight top mid. Playing that position that we saw Doc play a lot yesterday to pretty poor effect. But this is against Tech 9, so you'd favour Art in this situation. He might realise that he kind of wants to play a little bit safer, though. Get control of the top mid boxes, to be fair to him, so it's not very safe at all. But now he's got utility to use. Keep himself safe behind those top mid boxes, waiting for maybe some more support, because he's kind of stuck here now. Do you sort of want to try and just push him out of the round here? Because I know they've got him pinned in, but look at this. Fluxo are now pushing 2 or 3 players to help out. They're going for a pincer, and there's no one actually got up there yet, and Art's just putting bullets through the smoke that he put down himself. What a nuisance he's being in this round. This is classic Art, just being an absolute nutter. He'll eventually go down, but in comes the reinforcements. Melton gets 1, should go down. Will, a little bit over-aggressive here from Fluxo, but they should still convert. There's Kai. Sniped with a P250. He's getting wall banged, and he is dead. Once again, more good work from Kai with the first bullet accuracy. It's 6-0.
I was watching that from Art, and I'm just like, okay, I get what you're doing. I mean, I know you just want to be a thorn in their side. Is this entirely necessary? And I guess he does just stay alive long enough to kind of justify the play. Him going down there really doesn't mean that much at all in the grand scheme of things. And it took so much of Solid's attention. They just pulled everybody in that direction. Like, okay, we know there's one here. Let's try and get that kill. And, well, they all go down afterwards. But Fluxo, 6 for 6 so far. It's going to be the 3rd gun round of the half. And this is the gun round now for Solid. If they lose this round, then the wheels are almost entirely off already. Three players on a duck, Trav. That can't last beyond this round, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Look at this. They're going searching. Solid have sent a lot of their resources in towards middle. 2 lows, 2 top mid, 1 palace. That means there's a big gap here towards ramp right now. And Art and Milzen have exploited that. They're going to continue to walk forward as well. Does one wrap palace or do they both commit to the flank? Looks like it's going to be the latter. Solid might be able to evade this if they can try and take the space up catwalk or con before they get top mid, but I don't know if they will.
Oh, no, I mean, obviously Fluxo can hear everything going on right now, and as you said, 1 TV, 1 top mid. It's Art again. He's just literally everywhere. It's unbelievable. Takes his time on the burst towards Nithon. That's very calm and composed. Zevi will find Destiny in the meantime. 5v3 again. Kai again will hit a headshot, again being the key word here. Fluxo just delivering in every single given situation. Art will even find DRG as well. The system is working to perfection.
It really is. What a read. What a read to recognize, okay, well, Solid, if we hear that they've just gone for that mid-take utility, we're going to push down ramp. There might be a gap. There might be some space. Art saying, I don't know for sure, Milzen, but come with me anyway, brother. Let's go find out. And they find nothing, and which means they find a lot, right? Because knowing where players aren't is as important as knowing where they are when you're on the CT side to get the information to piece the round together. So when they get that space and realize there's no presence, they just commit to that big flank. And then Art eventually just forces his way in towards top mid, gets a kill, and that throws a huge wrench into the works. I mean, think about the round playing out before that for Solid. You could think about the comms calmly, just, yeah, okay, guys, smoke here, cool, got mid, all right, I'm still in Palace, I'm going to connect with you guys once you come up. Con, all right. Art's top mid, what's going on, connector, Zevi CT, what the hell, they're all over us, they know where we're going. And it's because there was all the info found from Art, so yeah, masterclass of a round from Fluxo.
Is that the 500 milligrams of caffeine talking right now? Seems like it.
I don't know, mate. You're
Seems
gonna have
like
to
it
tell
to me. Seems like it to me.
All I can tell you is I'm alive and well. I'm loving life.
Right. There's, it's not just you loving life right now. It's Fluxo. The clean sheet intact. Solid have had nothing to show. And it's a map, of course, as I kind of mentioned before we got going, that they have a very, very even record on. Unusually having a record of exactly the same. 71%, 14 played. That's 10 out of the 14 for both. And of course, Solid have previous of beating Fluxo in the regular season, but in playoffs, Fluxo turned up the wick, and right now, it's pedal to the metal.
It makes sense, though, that they got the big game players right. Art, who's been in the biggest tournaments of the world for a long time within his career. Zevi, who's seen the highest highs as well, who is incredibly talented. These guys do have the experience to kind of rise to the occasion better than what you'd expect from Solid. But here we go. Solid have been able to make their way up catwalk in towards the B bomb side. Could the pistols unlock the first round for Solid? Evidently not. Peria shuts down to Kai with some good support from the grave with the damage he inflicted before he went down. It's only Tomate left remaining. He does get a collateral bullet with the Deagle, but not fatal on either of the two players. And that's 8 for Fluxo inside as many.
Aye. Solid. They had a start. They actually managed to
I always know when the Italian Trav comes out that someone's done something wrong. When I get the aye. That's indicative, mate.
I mean, that's like, I think more than Italians say it. Like, you know, Fernando Alonso said it. He's Spanish.
Come on, sounds Italian to me,
yeah, fair enough. But there's a famous clip of him going, aye, why they cannot start the battery before the qualifying? How it is possible?
I mean, maybe it's like a Mediterranean thing.
Maybe. I'm not privy to that necessarily all of that information. But Kai, brilliant work again. He's made up for the previous round. But finally, Nithon has found a way to stop Art. It's quick trades back and forth, and Zevi looking to battle Orpin Con. GBB up close, playing inside of the smoke. Nithon took a significant tag for his troubles, and look at this standoff right now. This is a standoff that could either confirm 9-0 or a beginning in this series, this entire BO5 for Solid. But they've already lost their third player, and Zevi will get that kill. GBB will drop, and Nithon, despite the fact they had a very brief 5v4, or 4v3 I should say.
Hang on.
Means that Nithon needs to clutch on very low HP. He's got the AWP, it's always possible. Nice little elevated peek into a jungle. He's found the first, but Piria and Kai will play together here. They've got kits, obviously. They've got tons of money, utility. They should be able to force Nithon out of this round. Tetris should be gathered. A little bit of a shallow smoke, but there's a gap in it, which might allow Nithon to get some information, but now they know where he is, and now they know they can just hold the defuse. Molotov available, but it's going to be too late. Period's too healthy. Bomb is defused. Nithon's dead. Fluxo are on 9.
Nice attempt from Nithon there. Unfortunate that he does throw the molly as late as he does. I thought that would have been Solid's opportunity. It felt like they kind of threw caution to the wind a little bit in that round. They played with more pep in their step and ran at Fluxo with more confidence, and it did look more convincing out of any of the rounds we've seen so far. DRG, though, Trav, I don't know why he pushed out of Palace. Maybe he thought he could find a gap in the timing on the A bomb side, but his teammate Nithon was rotating around to join up with him, and then maybe there would have been a trade available. Probably could have found more impact if he had just waited for his teammate, but he went ahead, he died to Peria. That regained the advantage for Fluxo, and they didn't pass up that opportunity.
Double walk under.
Oh, Art.
Oh my god, he's still got away with 1 kill.
No.
How? He's living a charmed life in this opening map here. Everything's going right for him. Gets away with a 1-for-1 when that should have never been the case. But Solid, even that's something for them to get a 1-for-1 early game. Early round, I should say. They have been playing catch-up pretty much the entire way. Fluxo playing on the front foot, playing aggressive. Just like here, Melzen's completely whiffed his positioning there into a window, and GBB has punished both of them. Fair play, GBB. Finally something to talk about. But Kai, he's got his 1, and he's ready to deliver.
Bang.
As they come through the apartments. There's another headshot. Oh, if he found one more, it would have set up a clutch. But Zevi, it's always possible when it's Zevi. He's 1v2. Both players are not exactly full health, but it is an AWP on this retake. And they're playing together. They're trying to... Oh, information. What the hell? Tomate. His ass is sticking out. And now Nithon, he's struggling. 34 HP. Zevi's jiggle picked him out. Missed the shot. Back and forth. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. But Nithon will spare the blushes of his team and finally get around on the board.
Oh, man. I like that from Nithon, just walking his way out off of the bomb site there, which is what catches Zevi off guard because he is so far exposed at that point. It's difficult for Zevi. You can see him desperately trying to bait out that shot, but he does. It's just a shot to the head. 9-1 Solid finally on the board. There has to be a lot more where that came from. It absolutely can't afford to just be around in isolation. And I mean, props to GBB. This first 2 kills of the map, and they were of utmost importance in that round as well, getting both Peria and Mills in snipers. And this has given them some confidence evidently, but oh my goodness. Ars has just knocked them off that pedestal while he's on his own.
Quite literally, that's insane. Melton gets his 1 as well. Oh my word.
Okay,
the counter
Trav.
flash.
Right.
The counter flash from Kai.
Fluxo have qualified for Pro League. That's it. Season 49 is theirs. I've seen enough, boys.
Oh dear.
Jokes aside though, Trav, they're about to go up 2-0 in the grand final. Like, and then have 3 maps still to be played, of which they need to win 1. Like, Solid, this is going to be really difficult to come back from, man. Not just the map, but the whole BO5. Like, what do they do from here?
I know. This is Fluxo have turned up tonight, said to themselves, look, we know we should win this game. Let's not F about. And they're absolutely
let's play
not.
like we mean it, right? Yeah, let's play like we know we should be winning this game. And Solid haven't had that same sort of impetus here. They came in slow, they came in heavy, they came in a little bit tentative. Here we go, nothing tentative about this, but oh, all right. That is a disaster. Unfortunately, it looks like all Solid will get from this first half is just that 1 round to mate left alive, but not for much longer. Fluxo flourish. They get 11. They're on the brink of going up 2-0. Quick break, and then we conclude Mirage.
Fluxo flexing their muscles, flexing their frags, and flexing their fucking everything, honestly. Absolutely insane performance so far. 11-1. Art is 16-4. Everything he did, everything he touched turned to gold. And Solid, well, it's just a long way back that won't be happening.
Yeah, they're playing like a team that own that spot at Pro League, Trav. They're playing like that spot is already theirs before they've actually won this grand final. And hang on. Pistol round looking pretty good for the CT side right now. A dink onto Nathan, but there is more where that came from. Nathan, how did he survive that second shot? Okay. I mean, Milzen's going to try and chase him down, but Nathan won't be hanging around for it. In the meantime, do not feed Zevi. He is a hungry, hungry beast, and he's also done so much damage. 1v3 for Milzen, but you couldn't even really make up half health between these three players left alive for the CT side.
It's actually so durable, isn't it? It's actually so durable. Bomb is retrievable on the corner of triple. Actually on the box, so I think he can jump up and collect that, I'm pretty sure. I don't think
but he wouldn't know that. He's not going to know it's up there. That's the problem.
That's a good point.
Okay, hold on. Oh, I thought he was going to go the whole way around. That would have been a crazy play if he had decided to commit to it.
Yeah, now unfortunately he's got a triple player hold to deal with, and yeah, he's been headshot to the corner of triple, and that's unfortunate. So I like what Milzen tries to do there. Like, he tries to take the duel in CT, thinking they could be set up there, knowing so much damage has been done. He looks for the kills. Then unfortunately, I got to give credit where credit's due. Solid play that really well at the end to put three players all holding the bomb on a couple on like headshot angles as well in con and stairs. Best case scenario when you're that low. So it's quite a well-played pistol in the end.
Yeah, certainly. Good shots being landed there from them, and good rotations as well. Kind of realized what was going on there nice and early into the round. They were able to set themselves up accordingly, and Fluxo find themselves in unfamiliar territory. They have no money. They're going to have to just full eco here. Art has bought up a Deeg. Probably just going to get a Mac 10 in the gun round. And a chance here for Solid to triple their round count. Based off what they had coming into the half, that is.
And Matt, Destiny got his first kill of the game in the pistol. Hooray!
Yeah, he did. I know. I saw that as well. I was like, ah, goodness, that's rough. But he has gotten his first.
Everyone type.
Needs to be a lot more where that came from here, Trav.
Everyone type 1 POG in chat. You have to. When a player gets his first kill after this long, that is a non-negotiable part of the contract when you watch any Counter-Strike broadcast.
Otherwise, we don't get paid, guys. So please, please, guys, let me eat. Let Nan have her meds.
Bless.
Okay, listen, can the bomb actually get onto the site here? That would be nice. Unfortunately, the player who dropped out of Palace wasn't the one who had the C4. And he will be the last to die. But he does die.
Yeah, Milzen will just take the death to the Molotov, so he doesn't give it to an MP9. 300 less kill reward, of course, for the Molotov compared to the SMG. Looks like he did it on purpose, because maybe he did do it on purpose.
He's actually just a moth, Trav. Like, we finally figured it out. He was an imposter all along.
Mate, don't. I've had like a problem with moths in this. Like, there's like little small brown carpet moths that just are really annoying.
Yeah.
Like,
I figured it out. Just throw an incendiary in the corner of your room, Trav, and that'll just draw them all out.
Noted. Gun round ready to go. Fluxo looking to try and put their foot to the floor here and get this one done. They're already out A, and how fast they are out A as well. Oh my goodness, so I'm just not ready for this. Kai's got an entry, Art's got an entry, GBB responds, but the bomb's already down on triple.
Solid played 12 rounds on their T side, Trav. There wasn't a single round where they had this much impetus. Not one. Fluxo's first gun round. That's what I'm talking about when I say they're playing like a team who already own that spot at Pro League. They're playing like a team that have pitched up here and mean business in the grand final. Not all, oh, you know, so can I just default and maybe win a round if you... No, they're here to take the round dominantly. Now, Solid, are they just looking for exit kills, or are they genuinely giving this a look in? No, not off the back of that frag. DRG's already headed for the hills. Tomate doesn't have a kit, and with that, it's Fluxo on map point.
Yeah, even if Tomate did have a kit, they had one extra player there. Fluxo just sticking around until the bomb was close to exploding, just to make doubly sure. DRG was the player with the kit, and obviously he was a long way away. Actually does manage to save with the bomb explosion damage on 1 HP. So relatively fortunate, or calculated, you choose.
All I'll say, Trav, is I'm in the process of ingesting 500 milligrams of caffeine, boys. This can't be a barnstorming 2-0.
You're gonna be.
Like, I'm in for the long run. I'm here for the night shift, boys. Come on, like.
You're gonna be up all night. That's right.
Yeah, but I want to be up all night casting Counter-Strike. That was the intention. All right, well, here we go.
That's what we needed to see. M4's out. Opening kill. Art will not get any success on this occasion. 17-7. Having a barn burner of a game. And Kai's been tagged down to 2 as well. So good progress from Solid here early round. Pyria might try and take matters into his own hands here. They've got such a big gap in this game, so he might try and take some duels, but Destiny is better on this occasion.
How did Fluxo get back into this round? They got a player in Palace, Zevicon, Milzen in Ladder Room. Oh, Destiny, that smoke plume just covering his head ever so slightly. Milzen is dead, though. Nathan's going to go hunting and searching. Zevi will get one back, but I don't see it affecting the outcome of the round here. And there we go. Kai on 2 points of health has no option but to just try and carry the AK across into the next round. So Solid will live to fight for another day here, Trav.
I know, listen, I understand it's not the level that maybe, you know, Kai struggled at. I understand it's like tier 2 South America somewhat here that Kai is playing in and playing really, really well in. It's not what he was thrust into on Furia. But I gotta give Kai props and Art props as well for kind of like just revitalizing his career. Like in these sort of situations, Kai could have been like, you know, tossed aside, maybe wouldn't get another opportunity again. Art and Fluxo gave him an opportunity to deliver again, and he's kind of taking it with both hands, honestly, man. I think at this level, he's honestly a really important piece for this Fluxo team. And just because he had a really bad run at the beginning of his career doesn't mean it's a player that can't learn and improve.
I mean, think about how much he would have learned from that experience in itself, right? I know it would have been a very tough time for him, but he could have learned a lot that aids him going forward, right? But I'm right there with you. It's been incredible to see how good he's been on this Fluxo roster. And Trav, I'd go so far as to say, for me, including the first map in this grand final, he's actually been the pick of the players for Fluxo in this playoff bracket so far. I mean, Zevi and Peri have had their moments where they have popped off in a big way, but in terms of impact and reliability, Kai is second to none, I think.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, there's one round, of course, I remember on one of the D2 games they played where it, you know, holds his own with 3 instant headshots holding from CT.
On ramp. Yeah,
and just like stuff like that. I think his first bullet accuracy has been really, really dirty for any team to...
His mechanics have looked so good, yeah.
...have to face in this bracket. Art will get a quick 1-for-1. Destiny gets his kill, but Art responds, of course he does. Fluxo needing just the one to get this one over the line. Nighton ready and raring to go from short and waits for the second player to hop up. Manages to take Pyria down. That's the important kill.
Had the info because he spotted Milzen as well. He had also spotted Milzen just before he gets that frag, so he can relay that information through to his teammates on the A bomb site. That's why they're so ready. That's why they're so ready to deal with the player coming through from connector there. So good work from Solid. This is a little bit of a fight back coming through from them. Nathan 14 and 12. He's a shining light here for Solid. Tomatoes also kind of chipping away here. If Art can get this kill on Nathan, though, then he does actually have the B-bomb sites available to him. Oh, that's unlucky. Art was hoping that maybe he could just look down and creep past someone, but quite comical from Nathan's scope there. Tags him up, frags him out, and that's 5 for Solid.
Nython, you mentioned shining lights for the teams in playoffs, right? I do think Nython is one of Solid's shining lights for sure. I mean, he was a factor on when he was on Red Canids, where he was the main problem, I think. Like, he was really struggling at a higher level to AWP and IGL. Of course, not really the same sort of situation for him anymore, and he's kind of looking a lot better on the individual level of things. Pyria's got absolutely nothing at all. What is Bro? There we go. Bro's found his Glock again. He's got Kevlar as well, so he was assuming to be the player to maybe pick up the AK. There we go. It's gone down on Art's hands, so he's going to give it a go himself now, and it works. He gets his 1.
Oh, Nathan narrowly missing out. I mean, Nathan is ex-teammates with Zevi from the Pain days, and Nathan was a rifler on that team. So it's kind of cool to see them going up against each other in the Surfer as AWPers on either end of it.
Pyria kind of pinging the ground there, I think. Saying where he wants to be boosted. Because we can't see the pings,
like
but the players can. And again, we'll play pass to parcel with the AK. Pyria trying to hop away. GBB not wanting to give up his life here. He knows that AK is still in play. Thankfully, Tomate's here to help. Kai will be removed.
Trying to bait him in as well, I think.
And Tomate
And that's what he's looking for. There we go.
Oh, should surely get the trade, though. And Melzin, no armor with 60 health. Pyria obviously
He's
only got the
gone around
Glock because he's obviously given the AK over after he's done the hard work with the 2 kills. Can he find a gun? He can. So this makes this round a bit nervy now with Tomate on 32 HP, but thankfully DRG's there. Should get both, will get both. And every single round, that solid win, Matt, I'll just give them a little bit extra confidence, a little bit extra warm-up for the next map.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing, Trav. I was thinking that, all right, I reckon the rounds they've been able to win here in the second half probably gets them into the game going into that next map, and we'll see them starting far stronger. The starts of Mirage did feel super slow just because it was like the first map of the grand final. The pressure of the occasion kind of got to Solid. They went into their shell, didn't really play their brand of CS. But I think now that they're winning rounds, they're like, oh, right, we can beat Fluxo in some of these rounds. They are mortal. They also only have 100 health, 100 armor. Nothing more. So it is doable. Look at this from Nathan. He's feeling himself right now, and he will be able to escape. That's the important part. GBB probably tries to help Nathan escape, and that forces him into the peak. Nathan, you got to be careful right now, mate.
Oh,
that
no.
HE actually does so much damage to him.
Yeah.
And he'll be followed up there by Zevi as well, who will double down.
He fell back into the worst of the HE damage. That is like literally
Into the corner, yeah.
Like the worst nightmare for Nathan, I'm afraid, there. And it's kind of a nightmarish opening map of the series, it has to be said, for Solid. Fluxo have run them over, and with that map advantage, of course, they get from coming through the upper bracket in this BO5, they are only 1 map away from ESL Pro League.
Yeah, it was a very good showing indeed here from Fluxo, man. Like you say, 1 map away, and it's a best of 5 grand final. They had that map advantage coming into this, and they've taken full advantage as they win Mirage. And next 3 maps are really good for Fluxo as well. It's not like there's a map like, oh, okay, well, this is where Solid should be able to beat them. I mean, I think that Fluxo have the edge on every map from here. Ancient into D2 into Nuke. Now, keep in mind, we have seen Solid do pretty good work on Ancient in recent times, so they should still certainly stand a chance there, but they have to be flawless from here, Trav. They've got to win all 3 maps left remaining to get that spot at Pro League. And wouldn't that be a story of the ages, especially after being down 0-2 and kind of looking a bit hapless here on Mirage?
Yeah, and all the Challenger League playoffs that we've had over the years, all the grand finals that we've had over the years, and these matches that would qualify a team to Pro League, I think we've had like, I mean, we've had so many seasons, obviously, and in so many different regions. I think we've had like 1 or 2 reverse sweeps ever.
Overturned, crazy.
So it's actually like a really, really rare commodity, and that is what is in front of Solid right now. They've got a long, long way to go. They need 3 maps in a row. Wouldn't that be something? We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we'll see if Fluxo can seal their spot.
Think you've seen it all? With Faceit Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive Faceit points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, Faceit.
I'm afraid Solid were a bit of a liquid on map 1. That was a real struggle for them because Fluxo were just owning them. It's as simple as that. Everything they seemed to do turned to magic. And honestly, it might not get much easier for them. Ancient is a map they're very, very good on, but Mirage was a map they were historically very, very good on. Fluxo just seem on a different level tonight.
Yeah, they really pitched up and they've meant business from the word go, haven't they? And it's been very impressive to see the sort of temperament with which they've approached this game with. You could just see from the word go on that first map that Fluxo are in pursuit of that spot at Pro League. Like, and they seriously are giving it everything that they've got. You know, they took the fight to Solid, and you couldn't say the same for Solid. Like, they kind of looked like a deer in the headlights at the start of this game. They did kind of warm up as the map went on, which does, you also made the same point. It kind of leads me to believe that we should see more from Solid on this next map, just because they have bled a little bit, and they made Fluxo bleed a little bit as well. And that's something that used to kind of be told to me a lot by my coaches in sport, Trav, at school. You know, you'd be like the first team for cricket, and I was at a pretty good school, semi-private, semi-public, and we'd play against like one of the private schools that have obviously got like all the resources, all the best coaches, the best players, and we'd be a bit nervous to play against them in a cricket game. And then our coach would be like, listen, mate, they still sleep at night, they still take a shit in the morning, they also eat breakfast just like you. There's nothing special about them. They still bleed, and you just have to, you know, kind of prove it once to yourself to then have that belief, right? So I think Solid, they should be better here, Trav.
Yeah, I agree with you, right? And there's the main reason why they should be better as well, right? Like I mentioned, their good record on Mirage. It's not as good as their record on Ancient. Solid have had amazing results on this map. They've beaten Red Canids, Sharks before twice over. They got a win over 9Z in the PGL Bucharest qualifier. Overall, they've won 15 out of 19, and that included a streak of 8 in a row at one point back a couple of months ago. So, listen, they're very good against regional and domestic opposition. But, you know, it just feels like Fluxo today, as we've kind of spoken about, have come into this game thinking, listen, we're the favourites. We're going to stamp our authority here. And they only need to win one map between Ancient, Dust 2 and Nuke, the final 3 maps of this series. And they're decent on D2, and they're very good on Nuke, especially compared to Solid. So, listen, if we somehow get to a map 5, maybe nerves could come into play. Now Solid can play kind of with nothing to lose, I feel like. They'll be very happy with their season overall, right? They've got to the final. They've got a great injection of VRS points and money to come to really bolster their ranking. So, yeah, they're in a great position, Solid, in terms of what it's going to do to their sort of state in the scene when this tournament is over. So they might just go into this game, this map of Ancient, and say, listen, we know what we can do on the map. Let's just play with freedom. Let's just see what we can do. Put all our best feet forward. That's not a plural. And see what we can do. Because, honestly, it doesn't really hurt them to play like a free, loose style when they're this far behind.
I mean, they've got nothing to lose. If you're Solid, you just got to throw caution to the wind and come into Ancient with your best foot forward. That is what's required of them, because they don't want to lose here today, Trav, and then kind of, you know, go to bed later tonight thinking, maybe if we had just been a bit more confident, maybe if we had done this slightly differently, done that slightly differently, who knows what would have happened. You want to leave it all there out on the server. Fluxo up 2-0 in the grand final right now. That one map advantage, courtesy of coming through the upper bracket, and then able to stylishly get the job done on Mirage as well. They just have to win one of the next 3. How many will we get, though?
Yeah, and if you just look at Fluxo's like recent form, right? It's not. They've dropped some BO1s in the regular season. They've dropped some BO1s. It has happened for them. It's been a bit awkward in those, sure, but they were never at risk of missing the playoffs really at any point. They of course were very near the top of the leaderboard over the course of that back-to-back BO1 format for quite a long time. But, you know, each one of their last 5 BO3s have been a 2-0. Like, they haven't dropped a singular map. So, yeah, that's a scary prospect. Sure, again, it's against teams they should be beating comfortably. I would say maybe the Bestia one is one of the more impressive one, obviously. That was the win that got them through to the major, I believe. Actually, I'll tell a lie. It was one against Legacy that got them through to the major. But still, yeah, Legacy and Bestia, 2 good wins to win so comfortably 2-0. They were clearly very clean in that major qualifier. All kind of the same sort of results we've seen from them in Challenger League playoffs that we saw in that major qualifier. They qualified, of course, with Bestia, with Imperial, and kind of proving where they are right now. Because, you know, teams like Legacy, Odic, Sharks, Red Cannons, and Solid were involved in the MRQ, and they all missed out. So, you know, Fluxo deserve to be in that conversation with the likes of an Imperial right now, I think.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, Pain looks like they're going to be kind of moving away from their Brazilian identity, right? Because they've got a couple now non-Brazilian players in the mix, DGT and Davideus as well, of course. Then you look at Furia, they've also decided to go international. So there's kind of some space now towards the top end of the Brazilian scene. I think Imperial and MIBR are probably the two teams vying for that top spot. MIBR obviously has the edge over Imperial, but I think Imperial could actually be better than MIBR. And then, yeah, you're right, like Fluxo, no reason for them not to be included in that conversation as well, right?
I think they deserve to be. I really do. Like, we'll have to see if they can really reinforce that when they get invites to future lands and stuff like that, and see if they can qualify for some more events around the scene rather than just play domestically. But, you know, of course, they're going to have the major. That's going to be the real test for them. And a lot of times you'd see South American teams maybe go like 0-3 at these majors, and that was a very popular pick'em choice in the last couple of majors. I would definitely not be putting Fluxo 0-3 in stage 1 for the Austin major. I think that's too much of a risk. They've got too much firepower and quality about them. Pistol round underway on Ancient, and Zevi's already got off to a clean start. He's found 1 and he's found 2. He's taken down GBB. Imperio with the P250. 2 quick taps from him as well. Tomate has been tagged down to 6. He's the player with the defuse kit and even an incendiary as well, but he's going to use it so they at least can't take it for themselves. Fair enough. But he's not long for this world. He'll get swung by Melzin, and Fluxo will continue where they left off.
Yeah, it was maybe a little bit awkward for a moment there for Fluxo because Zevi was the one who had the bomb and he was actually still behind double doors there. Hadn't actually gotten into lane yet when Fluxo were on the B bomb site, and he was a bit concerned about trying to cross and join with them in case he died, and then the bomb was dropped on lane by a CT. So did look a little bit nervy for a moment there for Fluxo, but they get the job done. 2 for Peria, 2 for Zevi. And Fluxo open their account first, Trav, 12 rounds. We're just going to have to keep tabs on that. They're now 12 rounds away from a spot at Pro League. And they should be able to make it just 10 as well. Excuse me, 11, because, well, there's barely no money invested into this round from Solid. Just a single P250 has been bought up, and they're going to be committing to a big push through A main right now. Kai's going to find this out the hard way, and he doesn't even get a single kill.
Yeah, find out the hard way because he just kind of swung into the angle, not expecting to be 3 players through there already. It was actually a bit of an oversight from Fluxo. They're going to win this round. There absolutely will be no issue whatsoever. That's probably one of the main oversights I've seen from them in the entire game so far. They've really not had too many micro errors like that at all, even positionally and awareness. But yeah, they're going to give DRG a Galil to save. That's good for Solid into that gun round, obviously.
Yeah, Kai's also thinking, well, my teammates have just been here like 4 seconds ago, so I'm sure all's well. And like you say, just peeks into that pack of players from Solid that have gone hunting who are now setting themselves up in CT, hoping that a T player comes looking for them. A nice little cube formation there from them. A little bit of a square going on. 2 players crouched, 2 players standing at the back. Unfortunately, they won't be offered up anything. Fluxo get themselves that 2-0 scoreline. And we're going to head into the first gun round. Now, Trav, I'm a bit more worried for Solid's cause with them starting on the CT side. Yeah, I know it's the slightly favored side of the map, but I think with Fluxo having all this confidence behind them, it's actually ideal that they get to play the T side now and dictate the pace of the game, play on their own terms, try and maybe bully their opponents. Solid are going to have to prove to us that they have what it takes here on the defensive half, but this is going to be tough, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. They might have an incredible record on the map, like I mentioned earlier in the pre-map for Solid. And an 8 in a row relatively recently and 15 out of 19. But when it comes to this sort of game, it's the opponent difference that really matters, and Art's very far forward already. Oh my goodness, GBB has no clue. They're already
wow.
through Cave, and Pyria's just wallbang DRG out of the round. B site taken, round over. Off the back of just one player not watching Cave, because he's not expecting Arch to be through that position so quickly. How many times have we said that over the years, mate? How many times have we said...
I was thinking the exact same thing, though. I was thinking the exact same thing. If you're playing Art, then you've got to be ready for everything, even before it even makes any sense.
It's funny, right? Like... oh my god, the Mac 10's even hunting, and that's dropped the next rifle on the ground as well. It's so much pain right now for Solid. Melvin is now holding that AWP on the floor to stop Tomate and be able to pick it up, and now just running him down. Art will go down, but this Mac 10 should do a lot more damage. Does do enough to make it an issue for Tomate, but he has found that AWP off the floor. He's actually killing everyone right now, but for Pyria. It's absolutely worth a hunt there, it feels like, for Fluxo. They've taken damage significantly, but they've got money to fall back on.
Oh, it's absolutely worth it for them, because it means that they don't have to try and deal with an AWP in this next round either. Art's in that super forward position. Again, Fluxo are just not playing timid Counter-Strike at all here in this grand final, and I think that's been one of the biggest differentiating factors between these two teams in this matchup, Trav, is that Fluxo have just been flexing their muscles from the word go. Solid are running out of time here. I was hoping we'd see a better start from them here on Ancient compared to what we saw in Mirage, but it's kind of slipping off into a similar direction.
Yeah, and that little point that we both were thinking of, right? That is why we've been a pretty good synergized duo over the years.
Yeah, and also been here a lot, right, in South America, ECL. I think this is like our third season of ECL that we've covered from not start to finish, but certainly done all the playoffs.
Yeah.
And, well, we might even be back at the end of the year, Trav.
Who knows? Who knows?
I know.
I do too. But yeah, I think that it is funny just saying that out loud and saying, oh, he's not expecting Art to be so far forward. That has been said so many times at tier 1 tournaments as well. And Art was in spawn on Vertigo with 1 minute 40 on the clock, right?
Yeah. That's the crazy thing is, like, how are we still saying that in 2025 that people are getting caught off by Art's forward position? Either way.
Yeah, well, he's not going to be in any forward position at the moment because he's unfortunately disconnected. Hopefully it won't get too long before he's back in the server.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be before long before we do get underway here. It's going to be a half investment for Solid to see if they can maybe get a round back here early on. I mean, Destiny was really poor throughout that first half. GBB also struggled. In fact, Nathan was the only guy who was kind of able to keep up with Fluxo throughout that previous map. Tomate did have a nice little highlight clip there with the AWP in the previous round, but it was just superficial, right? There wasn't any serious impact off the back of that sequence of kills.
Mr. Zevi being cheeky there with that. We mentioned it before, but of course new viewers are joining us all the time. Simem back in. Play on, obviously, Kiyosuke's Face-It name. There's been a bit of a debate whether it's Kiyosuke or Kiyosuke. I actually like both. I don't really mind which it actually is, but...
I prefer Kiyosuke, but I think it is Kiyosuke, just from what I've heard people saying a bit more recently. It's like that anime kind of like dialect or accent when you say it.
Yeah.
But
and what's funny about that, Matt, is that apparently he actually doesn't watch anime, as far as I've heard.
Well, how does that make any sense? All right. Well, I like him even more now, but I'm just surprised.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I found out about him. There was like a little HLTV thread and an interview that he did in Russian. One of the few facts about him. And we cast him in the future. If we cast him in the future, again.
Well, not many casters can say they cast his debut map, which we got to do on Inferno, right? That was the first time he'd ever played on Inferno. First time anybody on Spirit Academy had played on Inferno when we saw them in that Yellow Compass Qatar tournament they were playing in. Played against Bet Boom on Inferno. It was Bet Boom's permaban as well. That was quite hilarious, seeing them both playing on that map for the first time. Not in Bet Boom's career, but it was for the Spirit Academy players.
Yeah, it was actually a lot of fun, that game, just because of how unusual it was. And yeah, I think as well, Kiyosuke, obviously in the news a lot at the moment for many, many reasons. But
Squawk!
yeah, but yeah, nice impersonation. But I think the main thing as well is that people need to kind of realize that just because he's another one of these ridiculously talented players that's come through Spirit Academy, he's not another donk. Like there's only one donk, and
He's Kiyosuke, man.
he's Kiyosuke. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like some people are just like, oh, okay, they found another donk. They've got 2 or 3 over there because apparently Alcaren's amazing as well. But yeah, there's a lot more to him than meets the eye. I think he's a very good sort of calm, composed player in the server, and donk can be kind of. He's the explosive entry fragger. Like that's what he's meant to do. Kiyosuke's not all about that. He can do that, but he's not all about that. I think the one thing you can criticize donk for is that sometimes in the clutch he can be a bit questionable because he's not usually there that often because he's usually entry fragging, right? So yeah, very small things to consider about those teams, obviously. But Art's back in the server. We can stop waffling and we can get back into conversation for this particular game. If you are going to be watching Spirit Academy tomorrow and the games I'll be playing, keep your ear out because I might be there too. Here we go, though. We're back underway.
Yes, sir, and we have Art in the server, so all's well and ends well. Solid, like we did say, have got a bit of a half investment here to work with. A couple upgraded pistols and MP9s as well, and they are looking to take the fight to the T side, but Milton straight to the smoke has just clothesline to mate, runs straight into that hail of bullets, and that'll count him out of the round. Oh, and Peria's going to be spotting out Nathan and Temple as well. Nice little snappy reaction there from Peria. So I think they've done enough here to avoid the threats of losing to this half investment, just getting the kill, getting all the space, inflicting further damage as well. This is looking solid. And for Fluxo, that is.
I think it's pretty much impossible to get through a series without saying something is solid. Especially when Team Solid are playing. It's quite a hard task.
Well, that makes it like a million times more difficult. Imagine casting a team and just never being able to say their name, like a challenge.
No, but like saying a round was solid and the performance was solid.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just adding on to the last point that you made there.
Fair enough.
It is, yeah, it's one of those words. It's just like a go-to word. It's a nice, like, simple word. So, yeah, probably impossible. It's like when you're casting easy, try not to use the word easy.
True.
That's not going to happen either.
That's a very good one. I think what we'd have to do when we'd cast something from VP Prodigy.
Against somebody.
Yeah.
All right, well, Trav, Solid are down 0-2 in the grand final. They're down 0-4 here on the third map. Fluxo are 9 rounds away now. That tally just keeps being chipped away at. They are now 9 rounds away from a spot at ESL Pro League. Solid have to get themselves going here and now.
Destiny will not want to fight mid because he sees the utility coming toward him. He would have gone down for free if he tried to push and play aggressively in that position. Oh, DRG's in trouble. Should get swung by Kai, but he's done really well. Fair play, DRG. He'll actually get found by the HE, but Mel's in. Unfortunately, we'll lose 2 of his teammates before that HE will land. Finding an opening for Solid to work with here.
Yeah, this is the gun round that we had to see Solid put their best foot forward. And DRG, I mean, there's a world in where he could have gone down there without getting a single frag. So the fact that he multis before he does is a very good showing from him. Now, how did Fluxo look to try and make something work in the round? They've got Art who's going through Donut into the A-bomb site right now. He did smoke Donut off and then go through his own smoke grenade to try and catch the CTs off guard. And he still very well may. Tomatoes all the way deep into A main. Destiny is in CT spawn. Or was Art giving an audio cue away? Yeah, he certainly has now. Okay, so Solid. Well, look at the rotations. Look at what he's actually kind of drawn now. He's drawn Destiny deep into Temple. He's also forced GBB in towards the top and middle. If Art gets this kill, that would be a disaster. Has he slipped the net entirely? Did he see the gun barrel? So many questions, not many answers just yet, but now the round will start to unfold. Art can't get that kill. That would have been everything. He does 99 damage, but it isn't fatal.
He's going to see after the round and just say to himself, bro, how about a 99 damage with an AK? Since when does that happen? Obviously, it's through the corner of the wall. That's how it happened. but Melzin is now down to 14 as well. He needs to try and take an aggressive duel, and Nithon's ready. A bit risky there, of course. I mean, it's the AWP. The pistol would have been a bit more comfortable, but they weren't to know how low he was. And Zevi will not be getting out of this one. Tomate on the big flank all the way around. Well played, solid. They're going to win their first gun round, and they're going to win it with 4 players alive as well. 2 AKs recovered. That is critical for them.
I mean, there were really fine margins in that round, though. You think about DRG getting 2 kills in Jag before he goes down. Probably should have gotten 1 at most, and then Arts, if he gets that kill on GBB, then there's only one player, it's just Nithon, who's in cave. And then it's so much more difficult for Solid at that point. So fine margins. That round could have gone awry, but Solid get the points on the board, and they've opened up their account here on Ancient.
Destiny with the task, as I've said already, of being the guy in mid to either go for the fight or fall back into a donut behind the smoke. Always have to gauge it at the beginning of every round as to what the best thought process is. But Fluxo once again taking deep mid control, once again looking to try and put a few players through red. And I like this call because they were throwing it toward this position, of course, in the last round, but that was in a disadvantage. Now they're here in a 5v5.
Yeah, far better positional control for Fluxo, and the numbers to match it as well. Art will go down though, as does Melzin. Those 2 players in towards the top and middle have both lost their life out. This makes it a lot easier for Solid because now they can shift all of their focus in towards the A-bomb site, but that's a really important kill from Peria. That gives them space now in the post plant. Zevi's been able to draw blood as well, and the script has been flipped. It's advantage Fluxo.
Yeah, Peria low. Tomate with the kit. We've seen him win a couple of really critical clutches, of course, for his team on Ancient, but I don't think they're going to be giving them anything here. They're going to be forced to fall away. Tomate will keep the AK. Nithon will keep the AWP. Fluxo battle their way through there. Was a disadvantage very quickly. Was a 3v5 technically, but only for a very short amount of time. Peria takes matters into his own hands there while the bomb's being planted, pushes into Donut, takes the opening kill on that rotation. And from then on in, when Zevi got his pick, it always felt like it was a Fluxo round.
I mean, yeah, it did. You're right. Once Zevi kind of was able to impact the round. I mean, Solid do find the first 2 kills, though. 5v3 for a brief moment. But they weren't able to deal with the threat on that A site. They will have a full buy at their disposal here, but if you lose this, then we start to get very worried about Solid's cause and their chances of qualifying for Pro League, which are already super slim to do from here. Have to win 3 rounds in a row. That would be 3 maps in a row, rather, which would be unthinkable. Ancient does 2, and then Nuke 3 very good maps for Fluxo, particularly that Nuke. Big arm wrestle in towards mid right now. Flash is going back and forth.
Nice.
Destiny regains his vision just in time. He's doubled down. Nithon there with the AWP gets in on the act as well.
That's the first time we've seen it, and I've brought it up both times, where Destiny has been looking to try and brawl in mid, but he hasn't really had the opportunity to. He hasn't had teammate support, so he always falls back into a donut. This time he does, and he gets 2. He'll get into the Molotov, but it doesn't matter. They're going to win this round. Zevi will go down. It's all down to Kai. He's been spotted out by Tomate as well. Kai, after a brilliant map 1, is yet to frag in map 2, but his team are 5-2 up, so it's not an absolute nightmare yet. The gap is now 3 again.
And now, decision-making time for Fluxo. I'd like to see them eco here. No need to just get overly aggressive with your decision-making financially. They will, though. I suppose 2 AKs, 2 Galils, Mac 10 does justify the investment. They've got the firepower, but they're going to be light on utility. And Trav, this is now Solid's chance, isn't it? You win this as Solid 5-3.
Yeah.
You break the bank of Fluxo 5-4 at that point. Gap is just 1, and we have a competitive map. So this is Solid's chance. Can they take advantage? Kai burning out, going to get forced on here by DRG, avoiding all the bullets through the smoke, taking the attention away from his teammates. Kai gets a kill. Perry has found 1 as well. What have we just witnessed? How is Kai alive?
What on earth? Kai, 19 health, was 1 bullet from death, and about 20 came toward him, and he survived. And Tomate's been timing this. Mel's is going to work his way out through A-long as well. Thankfully, Tomate recovers. It's back into a 3v3. Somehow, Fluxo win the lane fight. But Nithon is still here, and now Pyria, Kai, and Zevi will walk together. Nithon is very ready for this. Shadow advantage, sees it, but now he's got 2 players to fight, and it's a nightmare. They'll triple swing him when they realise he's pushing forward. It needs to be Destiny. He needs 2 kills here. His teammate's quite a long way away, and of course he's very low health. Kai will go down, and he hits a dink on Zevi, but it might not be enough. Hang on though, 1v1, Pyria in the open, but he goes for the fight with the health advantage. Picks up the AWP. She doesn't even want it because they've got money to buy one. I tell a lie, they don't. Actually, they're going to focus on the AWP on, or AWP Plus, I should say. That's interesting. But still, it's a crazy round for Fluxo to win.
Yeah, it is. It certainly is, man. Solid try and get on the front foot here at the start of the round and fight their way forward. Doesn't work out for them. Still looks like there's a chance in the round, especially with Nithon posted at the top of ramp. I'm thinking, okay, he could be the key here, gets a kill, jumps back around the corner, goes towards the pillar, finds another, he could win the round for his team, but he edged his way forward. Even if he gets a kill there, he was always going to be traded. Never would have been able to escape. And that means Fluxo get themselves up to 6, a guaranteed leveled scoreline now going into that second half. How many more can they get on top of that is the question. And it doesn't look like they're going to be too discreet with their approach right now. Art with that Mac-10 is making a lot of noise in A main, so they're just going to dump the utility to keep the T side at bay.
And Solid will know that there's so much damage. Like, they'll know the money isn't great, even though Fluxo won that previous round. They're keeping them honest. Oh my goodness, no traces with the Air 1 SF from Tomate, but Melzin just puts a few bullets through that smoke and gets a reward. Back into a 4v4 for, it's kind of fortunate it's been recovered into a 4v4.
Yeah, fortunate but somewhat gifted.
True. And now here, right? As I said, it's a rough buy around the edges for Fluxo. Solid just desperately need to break this economy once and for all. Desperately need to put Fluxo on an eco. A 6-6 is still on here. Genuinely.
Well, let's see if they can make it 6-3 first. Man advantage up for the CT side. DRG going to get in on the action as well, coming through from CT. Nithon has found another. However, DRG's gone down. Oh, Nithon's on the brink. He's going to decide to try and take this fight. Kai swinging into him right now. Oh. So brave from Kai. And you can kind of understand it because if he gets that kill, then he tips the scales into his team's favor. And eventually, Nithon will go down. Pyria 1v2, 1 Temple, 1 CT. He should not stand a chance. And there we go. GBB will ensure that Solid win the round. So we're going back and forth between these two teams right now.
Yeah, and right now that favours the CT side, which is unusual, right? Usually it kind of doesn't. CT economy is way more fragile, but you know, Fluxo are going to be forced into something a bit wacky here, I think. They're going to have to go for a weird purchase. Zevi on 1400, double eco territory. It's a Tech 9, Mac 10 Deagle buy. These rounds are very, very dangerous. Solid have a great opportunity here. Win this one, 6-4. You get a free path to 6-5 and a chance to win a gun round to make it 6-6. Like I said, even when it was 6-2 in that previous round, 6-6 is so doable here for Solid to get a proper handle hold in the game.
Yeah, it would give them a fighting chance. They've got a solid T side on this map, and no, that wasn't intentional. But yeah, they have a very reliable T side on this map, do Solid. DRG draws first blood, does get traded. There's more where that came from. GBB's in position right now, but no. Kai's run him over. Oh my goodness, what a way for Kai to come alive with his double. Picks up the M4. Nithon with York will get the trade, but does he avoid the trade in turn? Well, at least he gets one more before he inevitably goes down. And surely advantage Solid in the retake, Trav?
My goodness. Oh, Matt, that was insane. Did you see Melzin? Like, he was scrambling everything could possibly scramble there. He managed to pick up the AWP, drop it to Zevi while he was planting, and if that actually sets him up for another kill, that would have been insane. But now, it's only a Tech 9 on Melzin. He's done his absolute best to give Zevi an opportunity there, but now he's down to 3 HP. It's a great HE. He should go down. It actually takes a second longer than I thought it actually was going to. But there we go. There is 6-4. The plant doesn't give Fluxo much extra money at all. Should be another half investment, and 6-5 is there for the taking.
Okay, good work there from Solid to hold on after Kai gets his double. I'm thinking that they might be in trouble, and it's kind of awkward there for Zevi posted on the angle because he kind of sees both players at the same time on either side of his scope, so he just kind of gets caught between the two of them. It's like your left brain and your right brain, the left sphere, right sphere, just overlap each other. Yeah, hemisphere, and you can't, you don't know which one to go for, Trav. It's just overwhelming, so you shoot between them.
Yeah. I thought
Anyway,
Kai.
looks like Fluxo are going to go for the full investment here.
I thought Kai's second Tech 9 kill was going to be enough, like, to really hurt Solid there. I'm going to give props to Nython. I've seen him, like, kind of like flounder in situations like that where he's being overrun, but recently he's been a lot better, and getting that second was absolutely critical. And if Zevi managed to like reposition after the plant to a better position than he was in, I reckon that could have been, that probably should have been a Fluxo round, but he kind of obviously only got one option, and that was stuck in the back corner of the site.
All right, well, let's see if Solid can make this a leveled up scoreline going into the second half. Again, they're going to look to try and fight forward here. They don't have much residual money though, Trav, so Solid do have to proceed with caution, because if they lose against this force, then they'll have to win a force of their own to deny 8-4. Not ideal. They also don't know that Fluxo's forced here, by the way, and Fluxo don't want to give that away before they are basically guaranteed a kill.
Fluxo designed 2 force, you know, touched on it a bit, but I do think it's slightly surprising. I would have preferred to have everything possible for the final round of the half, rather than having 2 buys in a row that look a bit like this.
Yeah, that would have been my approach as well. I guess they came very close in the previous force buy. Maybe they riding the curtails of that coming into this next round. Where are the smoke grenades left remaining? Tomate has one. Oh, he's over and towards the A bomb site, so he can't chain the smokes here and towards the double doors again. Fluxo finally going to get their opportunity to emerge, but Solid are waiting for this.
It's a pretty good setup. GBB with 1, DRG gets 2. That's more than enough. He's done a brilliant job, DRG. What a hold. That was a full force. That was not pure eco frags. Quad kill for DRG, keeping them at bay and keeping them within reach.
Oh, he made it look like he was playing against an eco round here, just snapping up all of these kills. Even the double with the USP afterwards lives to tell the tale. That is super impressive from the IGL. And now Fluxo are going to be condemned to an even worse off investment, man. 6-5. Good fight back from Solid. We're seeing some grit and tenacity on display from them right now, something that they've kind of lacked throughout that first map. Oh, Nython, is he close enough to hear these steps? I don't think so. They're just going to be charging in towards the A bomb site. Nython, does he get ahead of the smoke grenade? Looks like he has got an angle, but the flash is there to blind him up. They know that that was always a possibility. He's going to hang around, Trav. This is really brave from Nython right now. A leg shot then complements his position. The nade to finish off the one player. He's denied the plant and the smoke, though. That's really good.
Actually, really impressive there from Nython to be able to, you know, keep his composure and realize what's going on and get the P250 out and deny the plant. That makes this very difficult for Fluxo, even with the man advantage. Kai's an amazing work to find too, but look at the health. Destiny and DRG are both here now. That nade could finish the job on Kai, and there we go. They have managed to leave, and you're right exactly about Zevi's positioning. He's gone all the way through Temple and caught Destiny in the back. Now it's all DRG. This would be a great round for Solid to take, to recover to 6-6. A calf that is a necessity, and Zevi will deny that from being a possibility. The force spy eventually does work for Fluxo, and they will edge this first half of Ancient, getting ever closer to that spot at ESL Pro League. They could confirm it after the break.
Persistent force buys there from Fluxo sees them get a 7-5 scoreline. They get a narrow lead coming into the second half, and they are now just 6 rounds away from qualifying for ESL Pro League. That is all they need from the second half. Solid have to be great here to keep themselves alive and force us to a third.
Destiny will already try and force the issue on this pistol, and it's very fast toward B. And actually, I thought those counter flashes were going to be a bit of a nightmarish situation for Solid there, but they're going to keep holding W and forcing the issue. Xavier was probably more on the doilies. Hang on, he's found 2. Now there's actually a chance for Xavier in this clutch, but it's a fadeaway tap from Destiny. 2 for him, 2 for GBB. Solid took no prisoners there.
Well, I don't know how all of them stayed alive. I also am right there with you. I see the flashes coming through. I'm looking at the kill feed, expecting to see some Fluxo names pipping some Solid players, but no, they don't get the kills necessary. Solid just brute force their way into that B bomb site and close the gap to just 1, and ultimately shouldn't even be a gap at the end of the round here because it's a full eco for Fluxo.
Yeah, Fluxo wanted to get the M4s in the third. And Solid won't know that yet. They'll know Fluxo are very force buy happy. So we'll see if they can gauge what's going on. If Zevi's able to get 1 with a 570, we probably won't get more with no armor. But he has been given a 1v1. That's a little bit dangerous now. They know he's here, trying to play with the angle, and Perry's actually got one with the help of Art's damage as well. Art's only got 2 kills in this game, by the way, after it's a stunning map 1. He does deserve to be said. Kai, what's he doing here? What's Kai doing here? 1 more kill? Oh, that could have been something. He would have gone down immediately, even if he got the kill, but kind of changes things now. Period with the AK, though. Art with the deagle, though. Oh, no. No. Sorry, this is a non-negotiable round. You had to take this one. This was against a full eco. Destiny, you just plainly have to win a 1v3. There's no other option. And I haven't committed to a diffuser yet. There was obviously no kit in play, but he's whiffed on Pyria. I can't believe it.
Worst case scenario for Solid here in the grand final. They win the pistol. Perfect way for them to set things in motion coming into the second half. And then they lose to the full eco. Oh my goodness. Pyria gets 3 kills in the round. Super important first couple kills to even give Fluxo the chance. And then he even covers his teammate to finish off the job. Ah, man. You hate to see it, Trav. You really do. Unless you're a Fluxo fan, of course.
I'm sad. I don't, obviously, I'm completely neutral in this game, but, like, that is just a sad one to watch if you're Team Solid. They did everything right in the pistol, hit some great shots, they're in the game, ready to even us up at 7 apiece. Could even take the lead if they, and really push forward if they win the opening gun round with the advantage of utility they would have had. And now it's round 15, and Zebri's already got the AWP out.
And it's the alternative. It could have been that world you just described for Solid, but now they're down by 2 rounds. If they lose this, 9-6, no money, 10-6, then Fluxo are 3 rounds away. Disastrous here for Solid. However, they've been able to get onto the safe bomb site. Kai at range from A main. Well, it's a shooting gallery for him. Looks like he's right back to form here in the server with a couple clean kills. Tomate down to a single point of health. GBB goes down on the run there from Milzen. Tomate should go down here as well, and he does. That's the eventuality I was kind of describing. Now it's 9-6, no money for Solid, Trav, and Fluxo are on the brink. They really are. They're so close to qualifying for ESL Pro League and making super light work of this grand final.
Kai had a slow start to the game, but there we're seeing again why he is looking just so good with pure aim. Like, just 3 headshots, just like that, with the AK from that long position. Perfectly done. Fluxo have that path to 10 that you have described now. Described so eloquently. And Fluxo would love to hear that again and again because they are in the ascendancy right now. Art wants some eco kills because he's had a rough game. He'll get 2. In comes Melzin, looking for more. We'll hold down mouse 1. Accidents GBB behind Nithon, but gets all of them.
Alright, Solid. You're going to have to show us something you haven't been able to do throughout this grand final so far, and that's put up here in the gun rounds consistently. Not just a round here or there, not just a nice cool plan. It has to be stable, it has to be reliable, and it has to be now. And Fluxo don't seem like the team that are going to choke out as they approach the finish line, Trav.
No.
They don't give me that vibe at all, man. I just get that sense from the approach that they came to this grand final with. Just the amount of confidence from the word go really does instill the belief.
Art watching above the smoke. Oh, it's critical damage on Destiny. It's 99. Again, it's the second time Art's actually done 99 in this game somehow. That's a very rare occurrence. But they might lose the round. DRG's entry Pyria. Great shots. He's got a second kill. And that's the one planted on B, and Fluxo, honestly, shouldn't be going for this one. So, crazy round, kind of off the back of just one individual play there from DRG, but there we are. I don't think it would have changed much, actually, if Art got that one kill on Destiny, because they would have got into all the site anyway.
Yeah, true. Zevi, probably the culprit of the round there for Fluxo, posted on the angle, goes down without getting a kill, kind of opens up the door for Solid. Pyria tries to pivot back from Cave and see if he can regain control of the B bomb site, but just too much for him to do there with two players looking in his direction. 10-7, Solid will live to fight for another day here. But like I said, that has to be the start of a streak. Absolutely can't just be one round in isolation.
Terrorists win.
Yeah, and the worst part for Solid is, right, is that it's not like they won the anti-eco, got to the first gun round, and now Fluxo started to streak clear with the gun rounds. It's the fact that losing the anti-eco gives Fluxo that buffer of a bank as well. So much money to fall back on here. They've got one more buy in arrears if needed, even if they all go, especially if they all even if they all go down. So
yeah, true. They're sitting pretty.
Just what that round win gives you when you haven't invested anything at all.
Solid have thrown a lot of utility here at the start of the round. They smoke Red Room, they smoke Donut, they molly the corner, they molly Ramp, they molly Cave. So that's a lot of their util from the word go. Have to try and take advantage of it. And it does look like they're going to keep things simple and direct and just try and make their way up Ramp here again. Zevi's not here with the AWP this time round. They know Pyria's in the corner from where that nade was thrown. Milzen finds a kill. That will allow for Pyria to swing out. Oh my goodness, 3 kills at the cost of 1.
Another great play from Pyria. 17 and 8 to get that one extra kill just relaxes everything. It's all good for Fluxo. It's all coming up Pro League right now.
Yeah, true. It really is, right? Oh, can Tomato and Nathan try save the day? That's the duo that's kind of looked the best so far for Solid in the series. Have a hell of a task ahead of them here. Nathan edging his way forward with the AWP. It's uncomfortable territory, uncomfortable ground with a sniper rifle. But he may be able to find an angle here. Problem is that the bomb is in full control of Fluxo. There's 3 players here and then one not far away. A flash and a molly. That's what Solid have.
They had a re-smoke for long. It's a nightmare. Nathan has to try and get past a crossfire. The Molotov shouldn't spread to Pyria. And some way to throw it there. And actually Art will die, but Kai's still there. So it's ultimate, 20 seconds. Has to wait out the smoke as well. That re-smoke that I mentioned from Pyria is so frustrating for him. And Pyria will get that spray down. 11-7. Creeping ever closer to what they have been playing this entire season for.
Yeah, that's true. It's such a good point to highlight that, Trav. It's been an entire season of ECL here. An entire group stage where every team had to play each other in 2 best-of-1s. Then we go to the playoffs, a double elimination playoff bracket. Fluxo started their berth in the opening round of the upper bracket, and they made their way to this grand final through that upper bracket, beating Solid in the process. It's been a long and arduous journey for Fluxo, and they're just 2 rounds away from sealing that lone spot at Pro League, taking it as their own. And they could do it in super convincing fashion here as well. Oh, Nathan, okay. He looks like he wants to try to take the round by the scruff of the neck. Milzen in the corner, though, will get that frag for free. These rounds, so uninspiring by Solid. They're such important rounds, and all they've done is try to go up B ramp.
That's very true. They will get a wallbang trade on Milzen, but damage did come through and return to a DRG. And again, we were just walking into cave here. It's kind of what Art did on one of those first gun rounds. Well, guess what? He's here to face them. In comes Pyria. It's only a 1-for-1 for Pyria. It's well played by GBB to get all 3 of these kills in the round. The rotations for Zevi and Kai are a little bit further away. Kai's quite close into a Jag. So he can push through, but mollied off. That's particularly awkward for him. It's not like he can really take a peek now behind that. And Zevi's been double smoked off on both sides. Kai will get that one kill. It's going to rely on the wall bang, and he's going to find Tomate as well. Kai is a genius. His only way back in, and now it's all Destiny stuck in the cover. Kind of one of the worst positions you could play, and they're defusing the bomb in the smoke. It's one bullet on Kai to remove him from that, but Zevi's on the angle, and they're going to defuse under Destiny's nose. Zevi will run him down. Oh my goodness. Everything that conceivably go wrong for Solid is going wrong.
Oh, worst case scenario, 3v2 B bomb site retake doesn't look likely at all because Fluxo don't have anything going for them in the retake, but Kai, who was slow to start on the map, what a way to deliver. The first kill was good, but then the wall bang was incredible. And then the positioning there from that last Solid player, he's just never really given himself a chance there. Kai smokes the bomb, gets on the defuse, easy as. And 5 map and series points now for Fluxo here on Ancients. 5 chances to get themselves that spot at ESL Pro League and rub shoulders with some of the best.
Oh, Art really wants it. Going for it straight away. You can see it in his in-game body language. But again, GBB, kind of the Heimlich of the team at the moment. He's doing such great work. But guess what? Kai's here again. Jiggling, tapping, first bullet accuracy. It's another headshot from Kai. Oh. And once again, it sets up Zevi on a rotation and Pyria on the side. He's looking to push forward, Pyria. Look at him. You can see it on the minimap right now. Zevi's missed an all-important shot, though. He knows he's got DRG locked behind the bottom mid boxes. Is that when Pyria strikes? When they're distracted where Zevi is, he tries it. But even though Zevi takes his kill, it's an all-important kill on Pyria.
Oh man, if only Pyria could have gone at least one and done there and left Zevi in the 1v1, but we've just seen a clutch one here from Fluxo anyway, so don't count Zevi out of this. Gonna be going the entire way around. He's got a full belt of utility and a kit to his name as well. Can he get the job done here and secure that spot at Pro League? Surely not, right? Surely Solid will live to fight for another day. There's gonna be a smoke on the bomb here for Zevi. And no one with a direct line of sight just yet. There's no way he can just stick the defuse in the smoke, right? That would be impossible. He's going to tap it to try and cause some chaos, and he's gotten the first. He knows Tomate's towards long. He's jumped on that defuse. Tomate has to get the kill in the smoke. He has to do it now to try and save the day for Solid, but it's not going to happen. Fluxo have won back-to-back clutches, and with that, they qualify for ESL Pro League.
What have we just watched? What a way to get it done! Stunning work from Fluxo. Solid are going to have their head in their hands. They were outplayed in the series, but to lose it like that, oh, nightmarish. Will they sleep tonight? I'm not so sure.
Well, I know that Fluxo won't be sleeping anytime soon. They're going to be celebrating. What an incredible display from start to finish in this grand final. They didn't take this relaxed because they knew they had that one map advantage. They didn't come into this casual, dragging their heels. No. From the word go, impetus, initiative, and fragging power gets them across the line. You could just see from the opening rounds on Mirage that this team meant business, Trav, and they just never took their foot off the gas.
Oh my word, what a game. That is, no, it was in the end a relatively comfortable win for Fluxo, but there was some incredible moments across the series, and I just can't believe that Zevi's won that 1v2, man. That is just stunning work. The fact that it's another defuse in the smoke. Look at the replay of this right here. This is the incredible wallbang from Kai, and then eventually that defuse through the corner of the site, and Destiny couldn't get to him. And then, of course, a round following, Zevi managing to complete it. That is the one man that has been stunning in these playoffs. The one man that Fluxo always seemingly can rely on. Honestly, every single player on this Fluxo team, look at this complete sweep, by the way. Not a single map dropped in playoffs. They're one of the teams that are truly up and coming in the region right now. Art still got something about him. Pyria is a star in the making, even though he's not exactly a teenager. He's 22 now, but great player to watch. Zevi is still the Zevi that we know and love after his previous successes in the early portions of his career. And Kai is revitalized. One of my players of the entire tournament, I would say.
Oh, I'm right there with you. That's why you highlight Zevi, which is obviously very appropriate. You know, Pyria, the man as well. But for me, Kai is just like It's so good to see him playing at this level. He's so reliable, he's so stable, but it's not like he's just stable and reliable because he also has like this X factor about him. I've never seen his mechanics looking as good as they have throughout this playoff bracket either, Trav. Like his mechanical ability, his individual level, I reckon is the best I've ever seen from him. And it's not like we just saw it in a map or in one series. Every single night we pitched up here for these ECL South American matches, Kai was just inevitable. So yeah, I loved what we got out of him. And Fluxo, what an exciting season this has been, Trav. Qualifying for the major, qualifying for ESL Pro League. I mean, these are certainly the highs of the organization.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And they will join Rooster from Oceania. They'll join Lin Vision from Asia Pacific and Bait, who won against Paravision earlier today from EU for that spot in Pro League through ESL Challenger League. This massive path that you can go on, of course, from the very lower leagues right up to the very tip top. There is one more region to figure out, of course. That's North America. That's coming up later tonight. We've got one more big boy BO5 to come today. It's NRG versus Nouns. We'll be handing over to our casting colleagues for that one. I think it's Mike and JRT, if I'm not mistaken. But it's been a pleasure to cover these playoffs once again in South America. We'll be back for more in the future, of course. But for now, it's good night and sleep well.